presented you a very quick overview. This year has been a very sad year, of course, for the Christian communities in Iraq and Syria. On more positive notes, it's been a very productive year for the production of Syriac catalogues. And Sebastian Rock, of course, gave us his overview of the great collection that is being produced at Deir el-Suriani in Egypt. And I want to just give you a quick overview of what we find in Torafan. The catalogue is in press, a catalogue which was produced by myself with the assistance of Mark Dickens and many other people who contributed. Sebastian identified many fragments, as did His Grace Ma'awa. So that's just about to come out, and this is a unique collection from Central Asia. And I might add that if we did not know the provenance of this collection, we would not know it was Central Asian. The location is critical, that we know from where it comes. And I'm going to just point out, I know I've shown this slide before, but for those who weren't here, Torafan is where the arrow points up to the Turkic and Uyghur empires. So it's now in the autonomous region of China, and this is the site at looking towards Torafan today. We know the site, and that is critical, because if you did not know the site, you would think all the manuscripts came from somewhere in northern Mesopotamia. Now, the collection is 519 fragments, no colophons, size from the size of postage stamps up to 61 folios. That is an example of the largest folio, which is currently being translated and edited by Chip Coakley and myself. And will come out next year or the year after in the Torafan text series. So the majority of the fragments are Hudra, approximately 200 fragments, dislocated fragments from the Hudra. That's the largest example. We think it's an ancillary text of the Hudra, but it's classified as Hudra style. And that's another example of the Hudra, which I published in Bulgaria a couple of years ago. Many of the fragments are also psalters and lectionaries, over 100 fragments, and they all come, the underlying text is the Peshitta, and some of these are probably part of the Hudra, because as you know, the Hudra was, psalter was recited as part of the liturgy, but because they're fragmentary, we can't always quite place them. But we do have 15 Syriac psalters, none are complete. We also have 3 Syriac Sogdian lectionaries, alternating text, Syriac Sogdian, 1 Sogdian lectionary with Syriac rubrics, and these are all included in the catalogue, and all the images are available on the International Dunhuang website, so you can access them freely. All the fragments are held in Berlin. So Syriac was sometimes written in other scripts, and this fragment here, which was a real enigma when we first saw it, 9 folios, written in Syriac, written in Uyghur script, and I know that Mark Dickens and Peter Zima published in the book edited by Andrea Schmidt on allographic tradition. But it's very unique. The Psalter translated into a variety of languages. Sometimes the Psalter is, we have beautiful examples of the Psalter. Sometimes the examples of handwriting leave something to be desired. Here is Psalm 148 written in reverse, a hole in the top, and the little picture here, which is part of the original manuscript, shows that human nature never changes. It's a part of the original this fragment. Why it was written in reverse is a little enigmatic, but we won't go into that. So we have a range of Psalter texts, approximately 20% of the collection is Psalter, about 60 to 70% are liturgical. We have other fragments. I mentioned the calendrical text, and here you see one of the examples of political texts. They have been published. Pharmaceutical fragments are very important. Various hair treatments to stop hair dropping out and also to stop hair growing. So we have various ingredients in these pharmaceutical fragments. Interesting, showing some medical traditions at Turvan. We identified, Mikos Maros published the larger fragment, but we found joins. We found quite a few joins in when sifting through the fragments. We have a letter, a draft letter to a Byzantine official. The incipit says, "Peace to my lord, so-and-so." So it is a draft, because it doesn't just say palam palam. It doesn't name who the recipient of the letter, but it does exhort our Lord, may your radiant honour magnify increasingly before the emperor and his nobles. Maros, who published this, dated to the 10th century. Why it ended up at Turvan is enigmatic, but it is typical of the Estrangela, the East Syrian. We have changed the title from historian to East Syrian. We have a few other polemical dialogue, very interesting, debating Christological questions on the Trinity between a Christian and a Jew, because Marov has prepared a translation, and it is on various aspects of the Trinity, seems to be part of a florilegium of texts, of which the hagiographical text to St. George, of course, of great fame in Central Asia as here, and it seems to be, rather than a vita, the story revolves around his debate with the pagan magician and its unfair magician who has the name of Athanasius, demonstrating his superior powers. We had a paper yesterday on this whole question of the Vita of Mar. So I think, and the handwriting is the same, so I think they belong to some sort of florilegium of text, maybe used to instruct young officers. And here's the example of the Syriac HD 95, named Athanasius the magician. We have prayer amulets, variety. People know, of course, that's my particular interest. Some of them are undoubtedly part of the liturgy, because the Hudra is the public proclamation for all, public request for protection, and so some of them are probably part of the Hudra, others are personal, and this is one that I did publish back in Salzburg, and that names Martamzis. It is a personal amulet by its scroll form. Only 2 fragments in the entire collection of 519 are illustrated, both with very nice examples of the cross. You can see it's very similar to the cross on the Zion Fustil, the cross on the lotus, and it was clearly folded on the back. And of course, these amulets, just as an anecdote for Andrea, relate back or are still continuing in the 19th century, and here is a late 18th century manuscript showing an illustration of Martamzis fighting the daughter of the moon. So we have a very rich collection of material, and particularly for liturgists and people interested in the offices and commemoration of the Church of the East and the commemoration of the saints. And I hope, and Elaine de Rameau has mentioned the great ability of Syriac to be intercultural and extend into areas of other communities and ethno-linguistic backgrounds. And here we have a fabulous example in Central Asia. But as I said, if we didn't know where they came from, you would never actually connect them with Central Asia. And I do hope some of you will be interested enough to look at the material and open your own investigations. Thank you.
Thank you.